depth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So barotrauma. It's this one where you and like 3 other guys control a submarine. Yeah, I think you get attacked by like the Kraken and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so is there a lot of like, will do the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, go do the thing. Go save. Go scrape the giant squid off the front of the sub. And,
Okay.
I didn't.
I'm
say,
gonna go in there and make cookies for the crew. Kind of thing.
I didn't say I would play, but I was like, go ahead and hit me up if there's a night that you guys play, and I'll see. And it was $7 for the game, so I'm like,
Oh.
It's been out for a little while.
has it?
Yeah. So, one of the guys that I watch on YouTube, he and his crew, they're all on Twitch though. They upload to YouTube later. They got quite a kick out of that game for a little while because like now there's like versions that out there where you turn into zombies and shit, and stuff. And
In a sub?
I don't know. It's just
Like you run out of food real quick.
I didn't play it, yeah. So I just watched the clips.
I don't know what game it is. There is another like pirate ship game or like naval pirate ship game out there, and one of the things you can do as the captain is have tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's funny because in first person perspective, and you can make your guy drink it too. This was one of the funniest goddamn clips I saw was the ship is being like there's water on the deck, it's going down, and he's just running back and forth with the tea in his hand, and he's just like sipping it.
There is a new pirate game out or coming out.
I don't know if it's out or
Yeah.
I just saw a clip of this and I just lost my shit. I'm like, this is such a brilliant addition that you just didn't have to do, but you did because there's like physics to it. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. No, there is a new one. It's supposed to be like more realistic than Sea of Thieves. Yeah, it's not all cartoony and stuff. So, which is kind of what made that game a little bit endearing, but
Well, that was the personality of it.
it was,
Right.
yeah.
The distinctly British take on the Caribbean.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very Monkey Islandish. Yeah. So
Well, I mean, yeah, in a way.
in a way. Yeah. Well, Skelly Bobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And zombie
yeah.
pirates. Yeah.
Which,
How
yeah.
do you have zombies on a ship?
Well, I don't know. Well, in that game, they don't really eat you. They fight you.
Right.
So
Oh.
Well, it all goes down with that voodoo aesthetic, which I'm just such a fan of. I love that look.
yeah,
Like,
they did that really well in Sea of Thieves. Come to think of it. So
they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite Disney movies
Yeah.
because of that aesthetic. Back in the day, there was a voodoo-based wrestler named Papa Shango.
That would have taken me a while to get that game.
yeah,
who just crushed that aesthetic. I was like, this is so sweet. Fucking voodoo wrestlers. I'm young enough to think like, he has mystical powers.
right. Yeah, exactly. No killing what can't be killed.
I just love that aesthetic so much. It's so cool. Are we recording?
We are.
Oh.
What?
that's gonna be
3
a
minutes
long
and 42
one. Oh.
seconds.
For God's sake.
It's not
That's
the
not
record.
that bad. Our record was like 7 minutes or something.
it's not a record.
Before.
I know. Just, we did it in the first 10 seconds on the last one, and we felt like such professionals.
It did feel kind of professional.
I know.
Yeah.
Might as well have been wearing suits and ties.
Oh, I don't
If
do
you
that
want
anymore.
to do that at the beginning, then you have to have an intro song.
An intro song,
You got to have some sort of something that leads to you saying that.
like a stinger.
Because otherwise, you're just going to start.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
You need something.
I think that one's being
That
used.
one's taken, yeah. It just came to mind.
I mean, it's funnier if you just do it anyway. Where it's like, this is ours now.
This is ours. We're
Do something about it.
Found it. Yeah.
You guys weren't using it.
Yeah.
So I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
What are we doing, Patrick?
Coffee before bed.
Great. Let
Jeff,
me-
what is coffee before bed? You had a really eloquent explanation of the target audience for the podcast the other night.
Oh, yes. Oh, well,
after we signed off.
right. So the whole idea was the selling point, so to say, because we don't make any money. The selling point, in theory, was all of you have had a close-knit group of friends at some point, people that you felt really open and able to talk with and just have long conversations with. But for whatever reasons, they've gone on their way. They've gone ahead and had their 10 kids, so you never see them. You've gone ahead
Had 3.5 cars.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You had to move to Detroit with your husband for work.
Wow, that is some images you're creating there.
Yeah.
And, your close friends are still in Tennessee, but you're in Detroit and you don't get to have, nice conversations. This is for you to just pull up a chair and jump in. Right?
All right.
People are going to come and go. You just hang out. You have a nice, pleasant stay with our conversation and just, take what we're saying here and feel free to use this on people at work.
Our suggestions on work.
Yeah,
I think that's a good topic. Yeah, think about it. Like, number one ways to fuck with people at work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the whole point here. You're listening. You're a friend. You're hanging out with a group that you just can't hang out with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So grab a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Or in this case, we have
We have
Gallon
Mountain
and
Dew,
two.
yeah we've had a ratio where 2 guests wouldn't touch the stuff.
2 people wouldn't touch
Pam?
coffee.
Pam did.
No, Pam did.
Pam did.
But
Sometimes Ryan didn't have coffee.
he hates coffee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Can't stand it.
That's
Oh.
So we were ratioed. I mean, we
We got ratioed on our own podcast.
We did.
Wow.
We got ratioed on coffee before
with
bed.
the title.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was 1-to-1.
Well, yeah. So it's
Well, if you
still
want to
3
call
to
it
2 total.
caffeine before bed, then
Caffeine before bed.
then we'd be a
Yeah, I don't want to ask you to make new graphics. But all right, well said.
Yeah. I'm writing this down. I have 2 jobs.
You have 2 jobs. What's your other job?
I'm writing this down.
That's one
And he
job.
brews.
Well,
He brews.
Oh, you
coffee.
brew coffee.
I also
Yeah,
and I'm talking. So everybody has that one job.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a job.
Well, we're crossing the channel here, man. Everybody rows. Yeah. Otherwise, the Nazis get you.
Is that those are our only 2 choices?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Those are your choices.
All right. So
Fair
don't
enough.
look at me. Yeah, I needed a second to write something down.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
is it? I got to do all the heavy lifting here.
I guess, man. My brain's kind of cooked today.
You look like it. Man.
Yeah, I drank too much last night.
Oh.
Did you?
I went out last night.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
What was the occasion?
Nothing. It was Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. So it was Thursday, and it's December. I guess I'm allowed. I'm
Are
gonna
you
do dry
wearing shorts?
January. I could not bring myself to wear shorts today, man. It was
It's
too
cold.
freaking cold. And the heater in my truck doesn't work. So yeah, lame.
Why are you driving your truck?
Because my car's busted. So
What happened?
oh,
Well, it's just not going.
it just won't work.
Did you have to drive the truck to Pueblo?
I did the other day.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was fun. So, no, I think it's just the battery. So it's way on the other side of the cul-de-sac, and so I don't have
Oh,
enough give a shit to drive the truck over there to decide
Oh my
to park
gosh.
it like this and give it a jump and see. But I'll do that tomorrow. So,
Well, you have a point because I mean, when you look at the problem isn't that the car's broken. The problem is how do I get to where I need to, right? So for most people, the solution is I have to fix the vehicle. But when you have another spare vehicle,
right, yeah, it's like, oh well, where's my keys? Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So the priority changes, right?
Right.
Now the drawback is
you pay
with that
for
truck. Well, yeah. So Pat had to take out $33 to buy 1 gallon of gas,
Right.
and so he could drive to work.
Yeah, I was coasting downhill. So, because I knew I need twice as much gas.
it.
You get
Just
pretty far.
watching- that's the one the one car that I've ever driven where you can actually see the gas gauge go down if you're going uphill. Yeah.
Mine's got the little efficiency monitor.
This truck was built in 1996.
Yeah.
It has power windows.
That was a perk.
Yeah, because your previous the green Blazer had power windows.
Oh yeah,
But your previous Blazer
absolutely. No, that one had power windows in it too, and that was an '85. Come to think of it,
did it?
yeah, it did. That was about all that it had that was power, including steering.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Ooh.
I think it had power steering. It didn't feel like it though.
If it didn't feel like it, then it's not really power.
Or it's not very good power steering.
Or
Yeah.
man, you just might have been like fucking muscly from throwing all those bags back. in the
Yeah,
day.
right. So, it's like 98 pounds soaking wet still. So
Yes, but your endurance was through the roof.
what, back then?
Yeah.
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 No, mine was better when I was actually throwing bags on a ramp. So,
Oh, I suppose it's true,
yeah,
yeah.
because then you just do it all day long, kind of thing. So sky capping, you just do it for like, oh, well, we'll fill up the cart before we actually push it in. So
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Work smarter, not harder.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I trying to remember. I'm trying to remember if I drove a car that didn't have power windows.
I did.
Yeah, I know which one you did. but-
Yeah, that Tercel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I remember that car. Yeah,
Did the Audi did, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
My first my first Subaru hatchback, the one that got destroyed by the truck or the
The
ladder.
ladder.
That one,
Did
I
it?
think it did. I know
I
Wing
think it
Zero
did.
definitely did.
Yeah, Zero definitely did.
Yeah.
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 And then your last car, the tan one, did. So of course.
Well, I didn't have the tan one.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, before your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
car.
that
for a
wasn't
long
that wasn't
time.
tan.
Well, it was like
It was
gold-ish.
gunmetal gray.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was tan.
His was black. Mine was
Mine was black green.
no,
I don't even remember that car.
Yeah,
I
it
remember
was
it
dark
because
forest green.
It kept having the.
Oh, I do remember that car. And then didn't you have you had a Camaro for a while too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. I think you're the only one of the three of us who's actually owned a sports car, quote, quote.
It was cool. It's not good in snow. Terrible in snow.
It's a rear-wheel drive?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just drive backwards then. Seriously.
It would've-
I get it. It's just not good for your neck.
No, it's not good for your neck. You don't want to do that all the way to work, but if you have to get up a hill.
I-70.
No, not that one. No, not that one.
It didn't take long to come up with an exception.
Yeah, no, not, yeah, don't
That
drive
was
backwards up
the-
that one. Yeah.
That was the scariest one.
What, up near Idaho Springs or
We
something?
were coming back from Vail,
Yeah.
and woo, yeah, that competed with some of the drives through Wyoming
Oh.
when I was white knuckling it. But that was more because I was
yeah.
driving for so long in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, going up to North Dakota. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I've never been in a snowstorm in Colorado that could hold a candle to anything I'd seen in Wyoming. So, Wyoming
And the
is...
wind with it, like
It's terrible.
with the roads getting back. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Actually, I can give you one that competed.
Mhm.
When I had to go to, it's not Steamboat, is it? Where was it that they had the Bridgestone course?
I think that was Steamboat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Wyoming level snowstorm with that Prius that I drive.
But that car's heavy. So,
Yes, but
yeah.
at the same time, it doesn't plow.
Is it front wheel drive?
It's all-wheel
Yeah.
drive.
Is it?
No, it's front.
Oh, okay.
It's front.
I thought
But
it had
I
that
think all
distributed
Toyotas
thing.
are front wheel.
yeah, they are. They are.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the issue isn't that, it's that the snow was this thick,
Oh,
fresh snow
got
on
it.
the road. So I was having to do some pretty creative plowing sort of to just get through on the road. And then, yeah, we were talking about by that evening, like the stuff is up to your knees.
Wow. Man, I haven't seen snow like that in a long time.
But that's in the mountains. That is 100% in the mountains. So,
Yeah.
but like down here, I mean, it was technically snowing this morning.
Was it?
Technically.
Yeah, I saw 4 or 5 flakes hitting the ground. My dog came back inside with like 1 or 2 on her.
Oh.
Ours has it where there's that little drift along where your grass starts.
Stuff that escaped from your driveway. Gonna cancel school.
Right.
Yeah, this year's been weird, man. We haven't had nothing. So
We're supposed to. I mean, if you looked at like the forecast today, it had flakies from, and
It threw out flakies. It didn't say anything about accumulation.
no, I hear Denver is supposed to get roughhoused very shortly.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
God, I've been to Denver in a little while.
Do you want to go?
No, not really. So
So
it's like every time I go there, it's like it changes just a little bit. So I hear like so when they tear Elitch's out of there,
Yeah.
they got this building planned for like that curve right around Spear right there.
Yeah.
That has this big split in the middle of it, and it's supposed to be all full of fucking nature shit. So
Yeah, I've seen that
did you
kind
see
of
that
design.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's,
weird, man. And it's like, yeah, that's a very Denver thing to do. Tear out a
is.
theme park and put in some piece of shit architecture like this. So
That
someone
that
can-
is the trendy,
trendy,
the trendy architectural style.
yeah, Lodo Sodo or whatever it is.
well-
Nordo or I don't know.
Okay, here's my question:
Frodo.
is the environmentally minded design going to keep the rents on those apartments down?
No, it's not. It's just gonna mean there's more bums in fucking Union Station. So
Well, at least we do know that Elitch Gardens or Elitch's or whatever they're going to call it this time. At least it is being relocated, and not just
yeah,
demolished and taken away.
bulldoze
Does
for
Lakeside even still exist?
the lakeside.
Yeah.
What is that?
That was the cheap knockoff amusement park.
The one that was further down on I-70, I
I
think.
don't remember where it was.
I think it was on the
remember
old
we would
Elitch's
get
ground.
we would get free tickets, or we would get tickets every year at school. Go to Lakeside Amusement Park. I thought it was
vaguely
by
remember.
Centennial.
I vaguely remember that, but I remember like there were like other things that you wanted to do. Like when we were kids, I remember what
The
was
Manitou water slide.
the Manitou water slide? Yeah, so which was a great way to get. I don't know. Can you get fiberglass poisoning if the shards come off on you? I guess.
I think you get poisoned. I think you just die.
Yeah, you didn't bleed out. No, there was this place up on shit. I think it was Broadway in Denver that had indoor water slides. You guys remember that? It's this huge place that had like 2 or 3 really long indoor water slides and a big like indoor. And so it was one of those places that you could actually go to in like February.
Right.
You know, I can't remember what the fuck it was called. But they had an indoor. It was the first place I've ever been that had a lazy river. So, and it was indoor. It was kind of weird. So, it wasn't like the one at, what's the other water park? Water World up there.
Right.
I think we're gonna try and do that this summer.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Oh, yeah, because this would have been like Great Wolf Lodge before that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was kind of the Skate City version of Great Wolf Lodge. You know?
Oh, hold on. Skate City is Skate City. It doesn't pretend to be
That's true.
Disneyland. It is a roller skating rink. That is.
Oh.
I don't think I've been there since probably like 7th grade.
I went there with the school.
I don't think I went in high school.
I
man.
chaperoned the kids for my school.
Oh, you mean so just a couple of years ago, or
Like this
Ugh.
year.
Because it was like last week.
Oh yeah,
It was like maybe the first month of school.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down there and 120 kids, and I was part of the chaperone group. I got to sit in the bus, and I was like egging all the kids on to make noises and stuff. Like, I'm sure the bus driver just, all the other teachers that were like along were probably just like, why is he
So
here?
you're like singing the songs, leading the
Oh, like we
the bus go,
we were coming back. We were coming back from Skate City, and we were coming back at like 6:30. So all the kids are hungry and all this kind of stuff. So every restaurant we passed, they'd be like, McDonald's, McDonald's, and then they'd pass Burger King, whatever, Sonic, Sonic, and I'd be like, come on, no, which one do you want? Come on, you gotta make. And they're just like,
It's like we're going back to the school. Buddy. Shut the fuck up. Do not invite this man back.
No.
Yeah, I know. For a second, it was like, he's like whispering to him. It's like, well, if you want to say a word that makes your teacher happy, okay, starts with N and it rhymes with bigger.
Right. Yeah.
anyway,
Let's it out, kids.
oh, Nagger.
Right,
Yeah. So he could totally screw this one up on Wheel of Fortune.
So the trick is, say it as loudly and as often as you can. Man, that is one of the few incidents that I remember actually starting fistfights when I was in grade school.
What? Someone dropped the N-bomb on somebody?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I never really.
I didn't see that in grade school, but I definitely saw it in junior high.
And I saw it in high school.
Yeah, I didn't see it as much in high school. I avoided gym class as much as possible.
I never noticed anything.
Well, one of them started like 1 foot away from my head.
Yeah.
And that was the funny thing was I knew the two guys through other friends, right? And so I didn't hang out with these dudes for a reason. And they were getting whooped up by 2 black guys. And so I'm just sitting there like watching like you do, right? And so later on, my friends who knew those guys was like, oh, yeah, did they ever tell you about that fight in the locker room? Like, yeah, it's like, they said there were 4. I'm like, no, there were 2. And what I can tell you is that fight started because some people started saying words that they shouldn't. It's like, oh, well, these guys told us they got jumped. It's like, well, yes, they got jumped after they... But it was an even fight, guys.
Yeah.
Wow, it's great to have a third person point of view.
Yeah, I was right there. I was like, yeah, this happened like right next to my locker. I was like... like, I'm not rooting for anybody, but it was like, hey, look at that.
4 guys, then they brought their pet bear. And,
Right.
Some bottles and chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I saw an AK. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those with the attachable bayonet.
well, they didn't say you should have seen the other guys.
You know what? They did say that they held their own. They did not. I mean, they did for a minute, but man, sometimes with fights, it happened. You scuffled off. You walk away. It's a split decision, or it's a draw. And then there are other ones where there's a clear winner and there's a clear loser. And these guys were
Clear
losers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they were knocked out or anything, but they were on the ground. And once you get on the ground and somebody's on top of you, like...
Yeah,
That fight's over. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's usually a good time for people to come and say, he's done, and you split them up, right?
Teachers
Do you do that anymore? I mean, you taught high school, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Are there still fights?
Yeah, there are, but
Yeah.
usually they're going to get de-escalated way sooner than... Shit, I remember a fight in high school that took place right outside the office.
Mm-hmm.
And it went on for a little bit.
This was when you were in high school or when you were
Correct,
teaching?
when I was in there.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like people do that anymore.
no.
So, yeah, no. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a solution to anybody's issues. You know, because someone's gonna lose, and that person's gonna take it bad, and they're gonna go get a gun. You know, that wasn't a thing back then, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had your gangbangers, and sometimes they'd have guns. So,
But that's not.
But that wasn't school stuff, man.
Okay, so I did know some guys, like a friend of mine, Brian, who came here, who went to high school with me, but the first 2 years he was going to high school in Pueblo, and he was saying, because this is all pre-Columbine, right? He was saying that there were some pistols drawn at school, right? But the way he said it, the way he explained it to me was that it was you wouldn't be afraid of that thing because of the mutually assured destruction. So if somebody drew, 6 other people were drawing on him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he said that happened.
Well, that's back when you used to actually have colored gangs, you know, so Crips and Bloods and things like that. Now you don't have that anymore. So
Colored gangs?
no,
I think they prefer
Right.
gangs of color
gangs
now.
of color. Yeah, no, no, where you would literally wear colors. You know? Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe they still exist in some respects, but
I'm sure they do. I'm sure that
I've just never seen any evidence of it. So well, it's been, I didn't teach as much as you did at that level, but I didn't see any of it when I was there.
no. Well, it was definitely an in vogue thing to cite at the time, to pretend that that you were, well, I'm a Crip, or I know
back
them.
then,
Yeah.
Well, that's why you wear the Colorado Rockies hat, remember?
Well, that's
As soon as they came out, they got completely adopted by a single gang. So
that's true. Yeah. Well, then again, so did British Knight shoes,
That's true. Yep.
which
BKs. Yep.
became quickly banned in almost every school.
Yep.
Yep. Are you trying to remember this shit?
Nah, I just didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
No. We had our own fashion problems to worry about.
Right.
It was like how many years can I go wearing poser pants before I have to evolve into jeans? And I think I made it to like 8th grade.
Poser pants.
So
That's a term that I haven't heard in so long I don't remember what it means.
Like MC Hammer pants?
yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was wearing but what they were at that point were just glorified sweats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a question of how long you could get away with that, how long you could wear your fanny pack, how
Well, you wore your fanny pack till the end. I think you had it up to about 11th grade, man.
did it graduate with you?
I don't think it graduated with you.
No, I didn't wear it all the way through high school,
Okay.
but
You
yeah,
did
it was
have it
probably
a long
about 10th
time,
grade.
Yeah. So
And what did it tear open? I feel like the fabric would have just worn out at that point.
It was pretty thin.
it was the same one?
I only had
the black one, yeah.
I only had one.
You only had the one for all those years?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know how it's possible with all the crap I had in there.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it wasn't like who was it? Who had those Converse shoes that you guys destroyed?
Oh, that was John.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because we did destroy those. Yeah. But he got me kind of hooked on those too. I had a lot of cons after that. So I was like, that's a pretty durable shoe there, sir.
Yeah, until you flop it on the table and show us how it's starting to come apart, and then you get 2 hands on it and just start ripping the bottom off.
Yeah. Well, that was junior high, man. That's when he did a lot of stupid shit.
Didn't one of you idiots put a trapper keeper in the wood shop planer or something like that?
I'm sure that happened.
I didn't do that.
I'm positive that happened. Yeah.
I don't.
I think you might have to explain to the audience what a trapper keeper is. So,
A glorified binder.
yes.
Extra doohickeys and stuff.
Usually
it should
got
come back.
sparkles
I don't
on it,
understand
yeah.
why kids wouldn't want that.
A trapper keeper?
No, hold on. Somebody needs to get on their phone and you tell me if you can actually get a trapper keeper right now in 20.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
The tail. Well, I mean, but
Like
we're not talking
officially
about
licensed
Yeah,
trapper
we're
keeper?
not talking about a trapper dude or a Trapper guy. We're talking about if
guarantee-
Trapper Keeper is
I
an
guarantee you can
active,
get them over at Target. So
if they're an active brand, and if people have completely disowned Trapper Keeper.
I don't think
I wanted to get one for my kids not too long ago, but
I'm surprised by how much stuff my daughter has to lug around. I wouldn't give her a Trapper Keeper, so it'd just be another thing in there.
But it had room for loose leaf paper and individual folders,
Yeah.
and and it had like you could store like rulers in there, and
Yeah. See, she's got to carry so much shit, and I don't know if your kids are the same way, but her backpack is like, it's like, what the hell do you have in here? And she's like, well, it's my computer, and it's my charger, and it's my mouse, and it's all this stuff that we didn't have, back then.
I don't know what it is, but it's a Trapper Keeper game.
that is 100% not it.
Yeah, no, you know what a Trapper Keeper
Yeah,
is.
but it's the only thing that says Trapper Keeper, and they're calling it a game.
No, maybe it is gone.
I mean,
So.
it knows what I'm looking for.
Right.
Well, it's
But-
Google. It does always know what you're looking for.
Oh, Trapper Keeper binder.
Yep. How much are they?
Not bad. $12.
$12?
$10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool and all, but I don't see Garfield on it. I don't see.
Yeah, there's no Thundercats on that.
That all goes on clothes now.
Yeah, it's
all
all
about
on clothes.
Is it what?
Yeah.
Whatever you're trying to say you like, it's all about what's on your clothes.
Yeah, you don't do that in your books or anything like that. I mean, kids don't even have books anymore, so
Oh, this is all computer stuff.
it's all computer
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, like I think my daughter has one folder, just a little thin folder, and it's got her homework on one side and then her assignments on the other one. So, and then she just empties it out every day.
Oh my god!
So yeah.
You needed a minimum of 7 folders.
Oh yeah, one for each period, and a spare one for your, whatever you wanted to do.
for
on.
your drawings, your
Yeah.
well, okay, so, and that was the thing. I know that every year you got the 4 football folders with the
Yeah.
the conference helmets on
I
them.
did.
but I can't remember because I think I might have just gone like bold colors, like the blue, that green, that
That's what I had.
but I also, there's just this classic design. I can't. I think there's the company that made the cards, OPG, that had that generic. It was just like baseball players on it, and like it was just the drawings of the guy.
Oh.
I know you've
There's a
seen
football
it.
guy,
There was a football
soccer
guy, and he's
guy,
like
yeah.
doing this, and I don't know why I have memories of this. There are just certain visual images that just kept popping up. I always remember your goddamn football ones, but
Yeah, I got those every year
yeah, and that was at the time it was just 4, right?
for conferences. I think
Yeah,
might
it
have
was
been
4.
6.
There was no way it was 6 at that time. It was just AFC East and West.
No, that split was later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how did you make it into 7 periods
Oh, there would be Transformers or something else, whatever.
in 96?
I definitely had Transformers for some of them.
In high school? No way in high school.
I didn't care what people thought.
No, I'm not.
That's
It's
true,
not
yeah.
about what you thought. It was just a question of like,
Could you find it?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
At that time. Yeah, because Transformers kind of died out. Like after the Gulf War, I would say.
Before.
You
It
think
was,
before? Yeah.
yeah, it was done. Well, so basically, like the show support ended in '88.
Okay. All right.
So we're really, if you got it to '89, that's
So you're really talking about like 5-6 years there of classic cartoons that everybody remembers now, but it really wasn't that big of a deal.
right. Well, no, I mean, only in the sense that these years that you're talking about are nothing but nostalgia bait that they are
They are
milking
nostalgia bait.
to death right now because we are the disposable income
You know,
target
Oh yeah.
at this point. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember because you never had like Animaniacs folders or something like that, which would be something that you were into.
yeah, I don't know what I had then.
That's what I'm curious about because I know every year it was football. every single year was those football folders. I mean, it's just you had those pencils.
Yeah.
What pencils?
They were all wrapped with, the cheap plastic that they wrapped the pencils around, and they had all the teams, and I'd sharpen them all and lay them all out.
And you had all the 25-cent helmets. And,
yes, I did.
What are those called? The bubble machine. Quarter goes in.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the term.
I don't know if
capsule toys.
Capsule toys.
That's what.
There you go.
I don't know what my other folders would have been.
I don't remember. So I know mine were all plain. So I got them from my dad. So
I would go shopping with my parents.
So
every year we would get the annual before
this
school.
Is your time to
shopping.
get your stuff.
Yeah.
See, I hated doing that. And
most people do.
Yeah, I hated doing that, and so I think by the time I got to high school, we just ended that. And I said, "Dad, I need a couple folders." And he'd be like, I get them from work." And I think like my last 2 years in high school, I had the same binder for like at least the last 2 or 3 years, and it was literally something that you would get at like Office Max kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
it was a solid color.
It was solid black.
Yeah.
It had no cover. Yeah.
Did you get to the point of duct taping it?
No, actually, because I didn't use it that much.
Yeah.
So, because then eventually you get to a point in time where you just have a folder and a book, and that's all you take to class.
Right.
Yeah. So, nowadays if you got to bring a laptop or something, I mean, I don't know how it fucking works, but.
Well, I did know kids back in the day where they would carry as much heavy stuff around like your daughter does, but it was because they would not be going to their locker.
Right.
They just took all their crap with them. Like, so they had all of their books going with them every day.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't even know how many of the
did.
books they actually use anymore, because I know they're used in more classroom sets.
Good.
Yeah, no, my daughter doesn't have any like books that she takes home.
No.
So yeah, no, I don't think they do that much anymore. So maybe in middle school, I'm not sure though. So
When they actually have subjects.
maybe, but even like in my classes, like I don't even assign books anymore. So
Almost out of college without books.
I don't. Well, it's easier and cheaper for me to sign electronic versions of them. So and then like I do have students every single semester. Oh, I like to read the printout book. I was like, fine, go fucking pay for the printout. Knock yourself out, man. Go down to the print shop. Yeah, they're gonna charge you about $1,000 for it. But if you need the tactile paper, yeah, it's an option, man. But for everybody else, it's like, well, how much does the book cost? It's free. So
Wow, that is crazy.
oh, I know.
Books were so much.
It's crazy expensive. Well, and I have book manufacturers all the time come by and knock on my door, leave their McGraw-Hill cards and my
Give me some swag.
my will call. Yeah, no.
I asked you about that. You
They
never
do
got.
not give out swag, man.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oil field is not like that.
It was, and I wasn't even there for the best parts of swag. Evidently, swag was
Oh, yeah. When it was going crazy.
straight up payola back in the day.
what, swag was cash?
Well, no, it was
Essentially.
yeah,
I mean,
really trying to influence.
So like they were giving you actual cash.
No, you said like actual cash. It
So
was,
what were they actually giving you? I'm curious.
Oh, you could get tickets to stuff. They'd
Oh,
bring
okay.
guns for people. Like,
Guns?
for some of the company, man. Like, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I saw this at the show over there. I know you were wanting one of these. And just seeing if this was up your alley. And
Yay, gun registration laws. Yay. See, when I worked on a railroad, we get swag, but all our swag would be just emblazoned with every piece of company logo.
well, yeah, there was
Good.
plenty of that stuff, too.
Yeah, so they like, there's like 1 year where they gave out these really nice wind jackets. Okay, so the pullover ones, those
Yeah.
like the tennis covers, it had the mesh on the inside, and so they were giving it away to the entire, our entire crew. So we got like 300 guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they gave us 4 blank ones to try to have people come in and try on. so they could get the right sizes.
Right.
And fucking, we took all of those at the end because we were like, we want these ones that are actually don't say Union Pacific
right.
And I still have one of those, but now I kind of want the one that actually had the service.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I know one of the things out there, people were constantly trying to get, like, it was a badge of honor to have other companies' crap, right? So people wanted things that had logos of
They wanted stickers or
what,
Tally
competitors or
tally
they
books.
wanted
Well,
as many of the different companies as they could get.
why?
that's
There's nothing else to do out there.
Oh, okay.
You collect stuff, I guess.
So you just collect.
Oh,
it.
wait.
okay.
You guys hate collecting stuff.
Yeah.
So,
just stuff. You're just adding one extra step between me and the trash can.
yeah, I didn't want
Is the
sh-
object.
I didn't
Yeah.
want the swag, so.
Well, yeah, but you saw there were people who like their
Hats.
always
Oh
with the
my
hats.
God, so
Yeah.
many hats. You're not going to wear all these hats, and some
Yeah.
of them are terrible hats. It's like, no, I don't want
The
that.
trucker caps with the snap.
Oh,
on
yeah.
them.
Like, no, I don't want that.
And it would be
Mesh
yeah.
hats. Yeah.
They were, and I'm trying to think of the companies that because most of it's not like they had out hats for like Smith Bits or stuff like that. They were like all the smaller like
Yeah.
operations that like constantly. I was constantly asked for Baker stuff.
And we didn't have squat.
But people just want to get swag off you guys too.
Oh, yeah.
So this was an industry thing. It wasn't just you guys.
Very
yeah,
much
okay.
so. Yeah, it's like it was like people trying to complete a set.
Some people plaster their hard hats. And
Oh
some
yeah.
yeah. Just,
See, that's interesting. Yeah. I guess maybe on the airlines we did that a little bit. Yeah, we would trade a little bit of swag with other guys, but I mean, all the companies are cheap as fuck, so the swag they give out is horrible. I guess the exception to that was Frontier. When I worked Frontier, they actually gave out pretty good swag. So
my favorite thing I got, I mean, other than the food, they always brought
Yeah.
crazy food.
You beef jerky was you were awash in beef jerky. Yeah.
But they gave me a mouse pad that has a wireless charger for your phone.
oh, that's kind of neat.
I still
Sweet.
use at the house. I'm
That's
like,
pretty cool.
dude, that's cool.
It's like an actual
Yeah.
handy piece of swag. Yeah.
I mean, this is like the industry where it's hey, please think of us when it comes to your towing, or not the towing, the trucking.
Trucking again.
No.
Have a nudie girl calendar.
Thanks.
It's like
I never got one of those. Right?
oh, they gave them out, man.
Did they? Oh, I'm sure they
That's
did.
not
They
porn.
still did. Yeah. I mean, we had one we had one hanging in our workstation when I was working with you. It was one of the little ones, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I didn't
the
even think of
magnet
those.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the last few industries where you can do this kind of shit. Why? Because there ain't gonna be a woman out here to say a thing about it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We had a collection. We had a huge stash of porn. So at one of my jobs.
Which
yeah.
one?
This was at America. Well, it was at
When he was a
Worldwide.
teacher.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was when I was a teacher. Yeah. No, so my boss, and I actually got him fired for this, which was great. So,
Oh.
well, I didn't get him fired, but he got fired.
Because of the porn?
Yes. So
Was this the mislabeled DVDs?
yeah, well, they weren't DVDs; they were VHSs. They were supposed to be
Oh.
training videos.
Oh!
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he had
Oh.
replaced all the training videos and used the covers, the jackets from the training videos, which were like how to de-ice a plane, and like type 1 and type 2 glycol for beginners, and stuff like that.
Wow, this is straight up a
Yeah.
TV show.
And he'd replaced them all with Girl Scout and Wild videos because this was when that was really big. Okay, in the beginning, and he loved these damn things. So this guy was useless as a manager. He was an absolute piece of shit. And he'd get mad, and he liked to fight people and stuff.
Like physically?
Yeah, physically.
Oh.
So that's why I never went to any of the office parties. Neither did Pat, with Gold Star Pat.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
never would go to those because he'd fucking kill somebody. So
That dude, I would believe, has to have his fist registered as lethal weapon.
I don't think that's actually a thing.
I don't either, but
yeah, but if it was, he would need to he would need to mark up.
He'd be
yeah.
like license holder number 001.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so And then so the boss was also busy fucking the payroll girl. So at the time, which was
Spectacular.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was awesome.
They
And so
fucking
yeah.
love-
Anyway, there was this one time where we get a call and they're gonna come in. So this is a contractor with major airline. Major airline guy was going to come in and do a safety inspection, and so I left some of the tapes out.
Oh, just in case you needed to catch
Just
up
in
on.
case you needed to catch up on some of these things.
Oh,
So yeah,
he never knew it was you.
huh? I think he knew.
Oh,
So,
really?
But I never
What the fuck
saw
is
him
he gonna
again.
do about it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He
Yeah.
was gone that fucking day. So yeah, so I was like, bye.
I'll let you know it's over. We're leaving.
We're leaving. Yeah. Well, bye. Curly Bill, you too, man. So I don't know. I didn't feel great about that, but also at the same point in time, I got a raise out of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you didn't do that for the strict purpose of the race. You did that
I
because
did that because he was a piece of shit boss.
right. You just
Yeah.
ran down the full checklist of shit that should have gotten you fired.
Mhm.
It seems like with him, it's a sooner or later sort of thing.
It kind of. Yeah, I mean, he had been there for a while. The thing that pissed me off about him more so than anything else was not necessarily that he was rude or that he was one of these guys. He was an army guy before, like
9/11.
way before 9/11. He
Yeah.
was like a Gulf War I guy who washed out afterwards. That's pretty fucking hard to do, kind of thing. And so, yeah, he was out way before 9/11. And he, I remember this was right about when the second invasion took place. And he was just like, yeah, let's go, I'm going to sign up again, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, good, fucking go, man. But he was already in his 40s at this point in time, so it's not going to happen,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right. And, so none of that shit really bothered me. The thing that bothered me about him was he couldn't write a fucking schedule to save his life.
There you go.
He wrote
That's-
the worst schedules, and he was
Yeah.
always like calling you at the last minute and saying, "Oh, I need you to change this to Mondays." And I was like, "Motherfucker, okay, I bid on this shift like 2 months ago, all right, specifically so I could have Monday off, and you're just gonna change it after the bid." So that was like the one company that I worked for that we had a union that was completely useless. So it was.
I did too, but that was the public school system.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess I never did teach full time, so I never got to experience that. But the union there, technically we were Teamsters, but our lodge was actually located in fucking New Jersey, of all places. Yeah. So the union dude comes out once and tries to sign people up. And we're like, so what kind of union protections are we going to get? And blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, well, we
give you this,
we
we give you
negotiate, and, it changes all the time kind of thing. And so we're like, all right. So we re-up the contract. And this dude disappears. So we start calling him about grievances and things like that, specifically against this one manager. No calls back, nothing. So we're like, well, we need to certify our election. No calls back, nothing. So I was like, well, how do we hold elections for shop stewards? Nothing. So
Oh my God.
they just taking our money and fucking leaving, So they were all the way out in fucking New Jersey. So,
Come get us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're like, well, this is bullshit. And so, so yeah. And all of our major complaints are against this one boss. And so we sorted it out.
If the lotto comes sorted out, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I say that's not quite vigilante justice, but there is a component of this guy's got to go. This is
Yeah, he's one of the
Work in the
few.
system.
He's one of the few that I've had over the years that was kind of like, you got to go, and if I have to help you out the door, I will. Kind of thing.
Now you don't. I know you're saying there's a component of that where it does imply tire iron, but no.
Right? Yeah. So,
And I know that's not what you
yeah,
mean.
scissors and brake lines kind of thing. Yeah. So no. I guess the only other one that I had was there's been a couple, but the only other one where it was I got to do something about this, and I decided to quit. Was at that first college that I taught at. So when we
yeah.
changed presidents there,
Yeah.
the new president was a piece of shit. So and
Was that Mr. Flamboyant?
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a management dude who he screwed up another school up in the Denver area, and so they were giving him a second shot kind of thing. And I mean,
Got sent to the minor leagues.
We were always the minor leagues. Yeah. So, but yeah, he kind of did. Yeah. He did get his ass busted down to double it. So
I don't like that because I make it sound like you're teaching for the Tallahassee Mud Hens.
I kind of was. Yeah. So the trash pandas,
Such pandas.
My brother brought me one of their hats when we went down to Georgia.
They're called the Trash Pandas?
Yeah.
Get out.
No, fuck yeah. So there's a team in Alabama.
Dude,
yeah,
that's
it's called
awesome.
the Trash Pan. They've got the best logo too, man. So it's fantastic.
Oh, that is awesome.
So yeah, no, they're down in Huntsville, and so when my brother went down there, like sometime this summer, I was like, "Dude,
Panda
you gotta
have to
give me."
do with Alabama.
It's a raccoon. That's a trash panda.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I
now.
guarantee you, they have those in Alabama.
I think so. Gotcha.
I think they're a pretty significant part of the electorate.
I think we made it.
You really got it. Why do you think they're called trash pandas?
Right,
That's
Right.
All right, the logo in my mind. I'm sure the logo thing.
Actually, had a panda in it. Huh? Yeah.
I had like a panda looking like Oscar the Grouch coming up.
oh
That's
my!
actually pretty good.
See, if they're actual pandas,
Right. Yeah.
and they're dealing with actual trash, right?
But they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what this reminds me of? Okay, so we worked with a fellow named Chuck, and Chuck.
Okay, Eddie.
Okay, well, so
That one?
that's the one.
Got it.
And he was talking about how he and Eddie went hunting once. And
Oh, yeah.
and so Chuck was telling this story about one thing you're not supposed to do as a hunter is if you're going to get out and shoot something, get out and shoot something. And so he said that
Can't drive by an elk, man.
yeah, well, so he's telling the story to me and Pat, and he's like, and one time, me and Eddie, we went hunting, and he told me to stop the car, and then he rolled down the window and he shot a cow. Now, I started laughing so hard I had to leave the room. About 16 seconds later, Pat follows me out, and he's like, "You thought Eddie shot a moo cow?"
Just blasting somebody's Betsy in the
It's like nice, sweet. Floyd, get out of here!
It was just that Pat knew. It was like,
Well, you're not taking off and leaving if you think that he just shot an elk.
and that's why I thought he was the disgraceful part of the story wasn't the elk that he shot, because that's the female elk, right?
Yeah, that's a
okay.
female elk.
Yeah, wasn't that? It was that he shot it from the truck.
Yeah.
which is evidently a really pussy thing to do. Or
It's not even legal. So,
okay,
yeah.
that was the disgraceful part. I thought the disgrace was like, this is someone's
livelihood. Yeah.
He's wearing a bow and everything.
Blasted bossy. Yeah.
It's just the fact that you knew. It's that you came out like just right after. It was like, I know what you're like. You're so stupid. It was like, okay, and I remember I got busted on that one too. With there was an old. I was watching the Cosby Show with an old girlfriend a long time ago, right? And they were doing this like community thing. They were doing this like thing in the show where they had this program where they were taking these old ladies and driving them to better grocery stores. Okay, which I guess was some kind of the food desert or whatever, right? And at first they were trying to make this point like it was a terrible like thing that they were going through. And so they have these old ladies, they're complaining about their local grocery stores, and one of the old black ladies is like, and the cans were all bent, right? And so I just start chuckling, and I look at her, I was like, ooh, and this is one of those put in my place immediately. It's like, you idiot, that's where botulism comes from. That is word for word. Just idiot. That's word.
It's true.
That's funny. Yeah.
Later on, I didn't know, like, botulism's a really fucking serious business.
Yeah, it'll murder you. Yeah.
You freeze your
Your
body.
jaw
Like,
locks up, and
Yeah.
it's terrible.
that's
Was
why
that the one where you get locked jaw and starved to death? Yeah.
your body can just.
Yeah, it just
It
starts
is.
free. Yeah,
It is why the weakest strain of that is what they make Botox out of.
Right, yeah. Shooting your forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been called out a couple of times. It's always funny. You got me.
Well, that
You got
one,
me good.
I knew. I wasn't thinking that you were stupid, man. It was just like, okay. I guess I got to get to Jeff before everybody else does, man. So, because some of these guys are going to fucking pick on him for this. So,
fairly so, and I mean,
yeah.
it'll be justified.
But yeah, you did say it's like a cow is a female elk, man.
Not in my head.
I know. I still like can picture.
Don't matter.
It's like, look at him.
Well, see, the funny thing is
look
that
at
guy,
Is such a dirtbag.
that guy was such a dirtbag. He's probably like, I wouldn't say he's the worst boss I ever worked for, but he's absolutely the most unethical one that I ever worked for.
Just a scumbag through and through.
Yeah, all the way through. Yeah. So, God. And he was the one who got us all in trouble with the IRS out there, come to think of it.
Oh,
Yeah, that was before your
Yeah,
time.
before
But
my
yeah,
time, yeah.
he was the one who went out and he bought this humongous ranch out in Ellicott. And the IRS was
Right.
like, where'd you get the money for this?
And he should just take one for the team and just be like, selling meth.
Selling meth, yeah. He should have. Yeah, but then they were like, oh, where do you work? And they were like, oh, what do you do? Oh, and do you report your taxes? And how about you? And I think the only guy who was like completely 100% on the up and up, guess. Dennis. You got it. And Harold.
because-
And Harold. So Harold
Yeah,
was
he
too.
did it for fun.
Harold did it for fun, but he also owned like a shitload of apartment buildings.
Right,
So, I mean, he kind of knew like his stuff when it came to that. He didn't fuck with the IRS.
Well, was it not clear that a lot of his hours were for the sake of just getting out of the house?
Oh, he and his wife didn't get along at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, they lived on separate floors in their house. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, now some of that was just like
Guy talk.
guy talk. But like some of it was they had been married so long, and I didn't know how long they had been married until I actually read his obituary. Like, and I got it hanging up in my house. It's like 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 when he died.
Really?
But he'd been married for like 60 fucking years. So yeah,
Holy cow.
and his wife was still alive when he died.
Wow.
Survived by.
Survived by,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and they were still married. So, you know, even if they slept in separate floors, apparently something worked.
Even separate beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was. He could have safely, like, fully retired and done.
The guy was
Sure
rich.
sounds like it.
Yeah.
He was wealthy. Yeah. So I didn't know that until later. So, and actually it was some of the other guys there who told me first. So like, yeah, Harold's actually doing pretty good. So,
He's working here for fun.
well, he had 2 retirements under his belt too. Or no, that was Chuck who had 2 retirements under his belt. Harold just had the Army. So,
Yeah, it was. Harold just had his side hustle. Well, I don't even want to call it a side. That's the primary hustle.
yeah, he was a property owner.
Yeah.
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 So, whereas Chuck had like 2 retirements. One of them was from the city,
Yeah.
and I think the other one was from like QM Woods or something like that. One of the old stores.
QM Woods,
Yeah,
wow.
exactly. Yeah.
Holy mother!
I think it was. Yeah. Well, see, Chuck was interesting too because he was
Yeah.
also a Marine. He was a
World War II guy.
Yeah,
wasn't
he was from Okinawa. So he
Yeah,
actually fought in Okinawa, and so here's a guy that is the most unassuming kind of like little dude who's just he's kind of duttering, you know, in some ways. But then it's like, wait a minute, you were where? He's like, oh, Bloody Ridge, you know, so Hacksaw Hill or whatever they call it. And it's
Well,
like, holy shit!
I just did what they told me
I
to.
just did what they told me to.
Wow.
he just it was the same. It seemed like the same affect of, okay, plug this socket into this, this, and do this 60 times a day, and also kill Japs.
Right, yeah.
So it was just my job.
It was my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what, it wasn't just that. He also, we were talking about the local dealership losers, and I know that he had some connection to Perkins, to
Chuck did?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I knew that.
Perkins still around?
I think so.
Yeah, he had some kind of connection to that. I think he worked there somehow, or because like when the Perkins came by, they were like close friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He was an interesting character though.
Was it Bill Perkins?
I can't remember.
I think it was Bill Perkins.
See the Bob? No, it's Bob Pincus.
Pincus.
Yeah, Pincus. Yeah, I think it was Bill Perkins. I don't know, man. Do you even buy a car at a dealership anymore?
I would.
Did you? The last car you bought, did you buy it at a dealership?
Where are you buying it
I
from?
bought mine at CarMax over here.
Oh.
It's not really a
That's not
dealership. No, they don't negotiate with you or anything. It's just like, here's a car, here's the price. Literally, it takes you like 30 minutes to buy a car.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Huh.
And if there's one anywhere in the system, which is what mine was, they'll ship it up here. And so I found one in their system that I liked, and I just went over to the place over here. I was like, I like this car. And they're like, great, it'll be here in 2 days.
Huh.
So, yeah.
I've seen the commercials and I was just like, who shops that way?
I do.
That's not.
I would order it online if I could. So,
Bring it here.
just bring it to me. Yeah.
I think that's how the commercial does it.
Well, they didn't do that for me. Maybe my new car. Yeah. So, no.
I think they bring it up, like on the commercial, they like bring it on a tow truck to your front door and they take your old one.
On CarMax?
I think so. Because they it's like a car vending machine. And so you select it and it like spits it out and then they bring it on a tow truck to your house.
That's Carvana. Yeah, I've heard of
Oh,
that. Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So they literally do have buildings like that. They're kind of like vending machines. They're kind of for show. So,
That's
from what I understand,
that's
but yeah,
nuts.
it's like they will bring it right to your house. So, but it's like one of those things. Well, don't you want to test drive it, kick the tires and stuff? I was like, no, it's a Toyota. It's gonna run.
that is true.
well, the other thing too is I'm not smart enough with cars to get in there and like take a test drive because it's going to drive fine, right?
Yeah, but there's what I don't know, like how it feels. That's kind of important to me because I couldn't drive it, like especially when I was going to North Dakota. I want it
Yeah,
to feel
fair,
like
yeah.
my butt is going to wedge into the seat just fine.
I don't know, man. I've driven
well,
so many
yeah.
comfy cars over the years that it just got to the point in time where it's like, okay, I'll get used to the car.
Huh.
You know, I've only had a couple like experiences that really were kind of like, oh, I'll never get one of these. Like there was one time when I was working for the railroad, I actually rented a PT Cruiser for a while.
I liked it.
I did too. I loved it. And
Oh.
I thought that I would fucking hate it, you know, kind of
Oh,
thing.
true.
Yeah. So, but it was also one of these things where, like, I also had a Jeep Liberty there as well, and I love that car. And this is not something I would normally like go out and do. You know, I literally had to be forced into getting that. So to realize that it was actually a pretty fucking cool ride.
I was really surprised by the PT Cruiser.
Yeah, they're kind of fun to drive.
It was
yeah.
cool.
I don't even know. They don't make them anymore, do
I
they?
don't think so.
I don't think
see them around.
Chrysler's not a thing, right? Or is it?
Chrysler?
Chrysler? I think maybe it's a thing.
It's still.
I know Dodge is a thing. So, just a truck thing, but a thing.
Well, is it that they're not necessarily a company, but they're still a brand?
That might be
think
true.
so.
Yeah.
I think they got merged with Chevy.
Oh, no, they merged with Fiat, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, because they were Daimler and
Oh, okay, yeah, Daimler Chrysler. I think, yeah, that's
but I
Fiat
don't
now.
That could be shit. That could be the same like conglomeration that owns like Saturn.
Saturn's not a thing.
Well, they got snapped up by somebody
It's
and
Chevy.
then ultimately dissolved.
Yeah,
but,
that's part of Chevy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. My wife had a Saturn. She really
Yeah, I
liked it.
remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good little car. So,
Yeah, the I can tell you the only car that I have found legitimately uncomfortable is my mother's Mercedes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tiny.
Well,
Oh,
it's
is
not,
it?
it's not just that it's tiny. It's also that whatever it is that evidently rich people like to sit on is so it just gets my back in the worst way, and there is no way for me to make it comfortable. So any extended drive with that thing, like
That's the diamond plating.
I wish. I think it's just that whatever fucking rhinoceros hide they use to cover the seats with
It's a
fucking
fresh cut.
yeah, fucking pachyderm flesh or whatever. It's just like it grabs my back in the wrong way, and it will not ever like loosen up. And it doesn't matter for her because she's 5 foot fucking nothing. So, she's sitting on a phone book just to drive. So, and using like the extender pedals. But yeah, for me, it's like I hate driving this thing.
Yeah.
It handles fine.
It's just too tiny for me.
You'd think it wouldn't be, but it somehow is more compact than like a Tercel.
Yeah.
It is.
My parents had before my dad died,
Oh,
they had a
the van?
no, the van was that was a long time ago, man. So they had a Nissan Rogue, and it was kind of the same way. It looked a lot bigger on the outside, but when you got in it was kind of like, oh shit. So, and the reason I hated that car because it had such responsive steering in it. And my dad always had this thing where he would drive and he'd just like constantly like wiggle back and forth, and it would just beat the shit out of your kidneys. It's almost like he had driver's Tourette's. There, and I remember like the last time I went up to a baseball game with him, probably a year before he died. Pam and I went up there, and Kat might have come with us too. She might have been like 4 or something like that. And I was looking at her at the end. I was like, "You okay?" She was like, "My kidneys fucking hurt." It feels like I'm getting my ass kicked. So the entire way, because his car was so responsive. So
Did he drive like that with every car, or was it just?
he must have for years, but like with the truck, or like he had the truck for a while, and then he had another little truck before that. It probably the steering was just loose enough in it. You never know. So now that he actually got his hands on something that was like all modern,
Yeah, it's
he
like
bought that brand new. So I
Right,
think it was the first
right.
new car he'd ever bought in his life.
yeah, that's right.
So-
Because he always wanted to drive a little car, but yeah, he was kind of forced into for like recreation and stuff by like trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Because I remember that he always wanted to drive like something small.
Yep.
And yeah, that's true. That's true because like when you have that thing where you start to account for, oh well, there's like a 30 frame startup window between turn and reaction, right?
Right.
And then it's kind of like what they used to say about the F-22, where they're like, you don't go left, you think left.
Yeah.
And your hand will start moving
Yeah.
that way because it is so responsive
Yeah.
that you will overturn the thing super fast. Yeah. Which I guess is an analogy for your dad's little car.
His Nissan Rogue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a little crossovers, but like I said, it looked
Yeah.
bigger than what it was on the inside. So, kind of like your mom's Mercedes, I think.
Well, it's just
So-
I feel like the inside of her car is just an inefficient use of space.
Yeah.
Like the center console is it's as wide as a football turned sideways in a small car.
Really?
It's yeah.
It's
It's big so in certain trucks that's fine
Yeah, sure.
because you're so bloody far apart.
Oh, yeah.
And then but it's just you're squished in the front seats. You're really squished in the back seats.
Yeah, if you're bringing anybody with you, yeah. I'm like driving a clown car.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I don't want to squash the people in the back, so I stood up and then my knees are bent while I'm driving. Like, it's so bad.
And there are certain old things that you'd think she would have changed. It's like, oh my god, the CD changer is still in like the trunk. No, it's not. It's in the glove box.
Is it? I never
Yeah,
even tried to.
yeah.
Yeah, people still use CDs.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a CD changer would be like trying to get an 8-track player nowadays, I would think. Be like, yeah, this is a novelty thing.
I haven't been like, what's the
A music store?
well, or car part or car
Car toys.
toys.
They sell cell phones now.
Oh, of course, everybody sells them. Who doesn't have a cell phone? Why is everybody needing to buy a new one?
I don't know, man. And I don't know why you go to Car Toys to get one when it's right next door to the T-Mobile store, you know, or the
For real?
Verizon store. Oh, I'm sure,
Oh,
man. Yeah.
Well,
There's a T-Mobile store every 10 blocks
Yeah.
in this town. So same thing with, Verizon.
well, I understand. So I'll say this: that the reason that they have all these is that there are various different markets based on affordability, and
Right.
there are certain people that say need to have prepaid services because no company in their right mind would be like, nah, we'll just trust you to pay your bill
Yeah.
at the end of the month.
Yeah, cricket phones.
Yep,
So-
Cricket. And I'm trying to remember all the MVNO companies like that. It was like Cricket and
Cricket was the big one. I remember when I was teaching at that first school.
Boost. I think Boost just
Boost
got
Mobile,
snapped up. The same thing like with Altel and all those other but there
I
are.
remember Altel.
Ryan Reynolds is selling one right now.
Oh, that's right. He's going. I think he's Boost.
I think he
Yeah.
Boost.
Is he selling prepaid phones?
I think he bought the company.
I think he owns the company.
What?
Yeah. Or he's a major shareholder or something like that. So
But he has a job.
They always make more money.
yeah, he doesn't, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hurting for cash.
Yeah, no, if I wasn't hurting for cash and I, had a couple million in my pocket, I'd be like, yeah, okay,
I'll buy a
I'm
company.
going to buy a car wash. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he has his own liquor.
He does
Right, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's true. I think
Thanks,
he,
yeah.
What is it? Tequila? I think
He's doing the Shaq thing, man. We
Yeah.
had a whole thing on
Oh,
Shaq
right,
soda.
right.
So,
That's right.
so
I guess for some reason I can't see Shaq and Ryan Reynolds as being like cut from the same cloth.
why's that?
I don't know,
Oh.
because one was like I just don't know. I can't see either of those guys reaching the same conclusions.
I guess, man, but I mean, like, there's so many people that you see in like celebrity status or something that just blow it too. in the
Oh,
long
yeah,
run, you
yeah,
know? And so
yeah.
like, I don't know, when you see somebody's like, actually, I'm going to start selling you cell phones rather than making more Deadpool movies. It's like,
Well,
cool.
He's
thanks,
going to do
man.
that too. But,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But
but you basically got free advertising because you're your own commercial.
absolutely.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the whole owning the part that's surprising me. Like if he's shilling it, sure, I understand.
I think he pretty much has said in the commercials that he took it over and
Well, I don't really see.
Yeah.
commercials, so I
I don't
can't
really see that
speak
many
to
commercials either. But I have seen a couple of those during the foosball. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
it's they told me, how can you sell this for $10? Well, I just did it. Or something. He did something like that. So
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm just woefully uninformed when it comes to like commercials and stuff like that.
Oh, all of us are, man. I mean, like regular TV there's no point. So
Right, as a matter of fact, I
Yeah.
pay for the YouTube version that takes commercials away.
YouTube Red. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
watched
worth all
plenty of
$6.
stuff
Yeah,
that
or
has
whatever it costs a month. So it's like, nope, I take all those away. So give some of my ad revenue to this guy and don't interrupt me with the bullshit that you're gonna drop for like. I can always tell when my YouTube account signs out too on my Xbox, which happens every now and then.
Oh yeah.
So and I boot it up and it'll just let me jump into YouTube and I'm like, this is a fucking ad. Ad? So how did I get an ad on this? So how'd you sneak this in? And then I'll look up in the corner and be like, oh, I'm not signed in. Okay. Yeah.
It's so weird. I find it remarkably unacceptable when it's just like I can't deal with it. I can't
It's an
handle this
offense.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you come down to it, the way that they have it now, because Hulu is the same way. They have a program where you get ads.
Yeah.
Right? I remember one guy saying like, I actually prefer the ad version. It's like,
Why?
What the why? And he's like, well, I kind of like that Hulu stops for me, so I know when to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And
It's called pause.
that's what I thought. He
Right.
said, but it felt unnatural for
Yeah.
the program not to stop you.
Was
And
it?
you're shaking your head
I
over
agree.
here.
I like. I
Oh
don't
no
mind
no
commercials.
Pause. No problem.
No,
Yeah.
because pause means I'm in control. I won't hit pause. You just keep watching.
Until you piss yourself?
My body just stops.
Okay.
Like, I can drive to North Dakota and not have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no. That was
You're
not
not
possible.
lying
Yeah,
either. I know
yeah.
that you could do that.
So,
Yeah.
if my car didn't need gas, I would not stop to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no. I got to get out about every hour. So,
Okay, I
just to
wasn't like
stretch
that,
out
but-
and stuff. Because I'll get cramped up and things like that. And, you know.
But yeah, like if I'm watching a movie, I've never hit pause for like me, I don't know, kids or whatever else and the rest of the world. Yeah, but not commercial.
Yeah.
But the YouTube commercials are terrible because like at least the other stuff is like designed around when the commercial is supposed to happen. YouTube, it's just like
Bam. Yeah, they're kind of jarring.
and
Yeah.
it's like you son of a
Yeah, it is kind of jarring.
yeah, skip. Come on, get to it.
Tappy. Tap.
No, he's making a pretty solid point in just this one
It's
instance.
just like a spiky.
Yeah, it's all right. No, because that's what he's saying. He's like, I'm skip the shit.
I'm gonna skip the fuck out of this. Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't gonna happen.
Don't give me a countdown. You're driving me up a wall.
Yeah, I see my daughter doing that. She's like, you know, because like she watched YouTube on the TV upstairs, which just has the Amazon thingy on it, the Fire Stick.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't have my YouTube account signed in there. I should give it to her, but I don't want to.
No,
So,
you watch.
yeah.
No, those worlds are meant to be kept apart.
They are meant to be kept separate because I do not want her clogging up my feed with Roblox videos and well, that Minecraft, like they doing like the Minecraft 200-day challenges now or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't need to see that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll watch some of the stuff with them, but those things,
I'm not into
gonna
it.
happen.
But you know, like I've actually kind of come around to that a little bit. Where like my dad would always come in and, what are you watching? What's this crap? You know, and I'm like, what are you watching? What is? Oh shit! Never mind. I'm gonna go downstairs. You just have at it. You know, kind of thing. So because it's just like, I mean, there have been a couple over the last couple of years that Pam and I caught her watching. We're like, no, we can't watch that. All right, so that's the YouTube getting its teeth into you in a way that's not healthy. So
Yeah.
like I did that thing where you actually do an incognito window and then just start cruising on YouTube. It'll take you to fucking horrible places really fast. All right, so like
If you haven't developed your chain yet,
if you don't have like or you can just do it in an incognito window and it'll just etch a sketch out the algorithm at that point in time. And it'll be like on YouTube now, it'll take you less than like 2 scrolls to start finding some of these TikTok videos that are basically porn. So, and they're all compilation videos and they have millions of hits on them. And so YouTube's like, hey, do you like this? And then if you just leave the screen on it, like right there, it'll count as a play. And then if you scroll down and refresh, you'll have like 4 more of them. It's crazy, man. So it'll if you got a clean feed, it'll take you into
wow,
really gnarly places real fast. So like I do have one that is on another channel of mine, okay, that I've been doing some things on but not like watching any videos. But the couple things that I was doing on this channel had to do with like simulations and stuff like that. And it took like 2 or 3 days before this turned into like there's this new Jurassic Park game out there, okay, where you actually build Jurassic World or whatever. It took like not more than maybe 2 or 3 days before my whole feed on that thing was clogged with dinosaurs eating people.
Yeah.
In this game, and it's just like most brutal ones. I actually saw one that was really fucked up on there because I watched it. And now I've polluted that feed with this shit.
Right.
But it was really this unsubtle like kind of video where the dinosaurs are running around the park eating these digital sims whatever. Okay, but only eating the black people. And I got about halfway through it before I realized I was like, wait a minute, there's a pattern here. So, and then I kept watching it. I was like, okay, we got to watch this one to the end to see if this is actually true. And yeah, it was. So it absolutely was. And I'm like, man, this is kind of fucked up shit that you see on YouTube if you just let it kind of run wild. So on you. And so like I do go and I check what my daughter's been watching from time to time. But I've gotten like trying to get past the judgy part where I'm like, this is bullshit. You shouldn't watch this shit. Blah, blah, blah. It's bad for you. It's
That's
like
what you're into.
Huh?
It's what you're into. I
That's
wouldn't
totally
watch
fine.
it, but yeah, it's.
yeah.
I guess that's where I had to eventually come with media. Yes, I will be judgy about things when I'm being critical of it.
Yeah.
But there's never a part where I turn and say, like, you're a bad person
Right.
because you're viewing this.
Right.
I mean, I make rare exceptions for, like, the Big Bang Theory. But that's just like, oh, no, you're a good person. You just like crappy things.
Or the British Office. Yeah.
Well, it's fine. It's just not for me.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm just giving you grief, dude. It's fine. You like what you like. It's okay.
So I got like an earpiece thing for work.
Oh,
like, listen
yeah.
to, and so I wanted to test the sound before our meeting started, and so I was like, oh, I'll throw on a YouTube thing real quick. And so I was just like, YouTube, and what came up was all the stuff my kids watch on my work computer that they've never typed anything into.
Oh, so it's just their like naked raw feed.
I don't know how,
Oh.
like it got, like unless it's going through the router and it's passing that through everything, but it was literally all the stuff my daughter watches and like all the stuff my
Do you guys
boy
all
watches.
have? Are they
have a
all on your
family
same
account?
Gmail account?
No, because they each have their own. They each have their own accounts and all that kind of stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And they weren't logged into your computer.
They've never even. I've watched 2 things on the YouTube on that computer,
Oh, that's
and it had
interesting.
nothing to do with those.
It does like.
And I was like,
Yeah. No, that's a little sus, man. But it does. It'll start spitballing things at you almost immediately.
I mean, it was like Cuphead stuff, and it was Minecraft. It was
Yeah.
like all their stuff just right there, and I'm like, why is this? What the? Like, I'm like looking for the hidden camera. I'm like, who
Right.
doing?
Is it possible?
That they used it at some point?
No. That it just so happens that the kind of popular videos that your kids would watch are the kind of feed that it would kick out on an introductory level. I mean,
I
just
wouldn't think so. Like,
it's possible, but it would have to know that like that computer or the login or something like that is tied to their demographics. So, because like if I go incognito on mine, Google still knows that I'm a 43-year-old man.
yes,
right.
You know,
Incognito is not really incognito.
No, I understand that, but it does actually take your algorithm on
Right,
YouTube and
right.
scrub out all the shit that you normally subscribe to and stuff. It's not in there.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it still knows who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
I'm very curious. Like
Yeah, I'm curious, too.
again, this is something that you would probably understand way more than any of us. So if you just like happen to, fire up a conversation with your coworkers over this, and they say, "Oh, well, yeah, it's because this," and tell me what that is. I'm very
Yeah, I'd
curious.
be curious too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not too up to speed on that stuff. So,
No, it's just funny what you were talking about, like with that dinosaur eating thing. This is one thing where they keep talking about that anytime that they start making AIs, they always keep turning out racist.
right, yeah. I don't think this one was done by an AI.
No, that's what I was wondering if that was sort of those
Yeah.
kind of things. Yeah, is
You decide what tastes better.
No.
they say that there's a big problem where AI scripts that they try to write to like solve problems, whatever, constantly come back as racist.
Yeah, that's because they get racist inputs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the whole thing about it. Like, I don't know. I saw a really cool podcast a little while ago that really dove into AI, and it was a debate between 2 guys. One of whom was very like, oh, it's the future, and we're going to do a lot of things with it. It's going to be able to solve a lot of problems, yada, yada, yada. And the other guy, who's this guy who's been in Silicon Valley since like the fucking beginning. He's got dreadlocks down to his knees.
Yeah.
Really cool guy. I followed a lot of his videos. I actually read his book.
Oh,
Can't remember his name. So, but he was like, it's just math. All right. And so, yep, he's like, it's not a thing. It's not set in it. It's like the difference between a chipmunk and a rock. All right. AI is a rock. So, it'll never be a chipmunk just because it just can't be, And so he says this is a philosophical debate at this point in time. But really, when it comes down to it, everybody's going to design this thing. All right. And Sure, it might turn into a rock that can actually grow into a larger rock or a smaller rock, but it doesn't do so on its own. It's going to have no like ability to be able to do that in a way that's like pertinent in the long run, or in a way that's not predictable, is what he keeps saying, because he's like, well, it's math, all right, and so eventually, if you collect enough data, you'll be able to follow the math on every single one of these things. And you say YouTube algorithm, Facebook algorithm is no different. So, kind of thing. And fundamentally, yeah, if you got, racist outcomes, so it picks out all the white faces from the crowd to, friend on Facebook and stuff, it's because it's taking data set from other people who've done that already.
Well, okay, so it's not that. The other component is like they ask it to solve questions, solve problems. And when it comes to solving problems of race, it comes up with very racist answers.
Right. Separate.
Racist solutions. Yes. Yeah.
Separate and eliminate.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's sort of okay.
It's a shoe stopper, Like an AI.
Well, yeah. See, the problem is what it does is it's free of that barrier, so it
Right.
they don't program it in with the part of like, yeah, but you never say that, right? So it looks at, it'll sit there and say like, well, I identified the problem. It's like, what? You say, well, these are the crime statistics. You're like, oh shit.
Oh, shit,
You're
here we
like,
go.
okay,
Yeah.
and then when it comes up with solutions, it's like, you can't. No, that's not how that works. It's
No,
like,
we're not
well,
going to napalm Detroit. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, it'll kick back. It's like, so you build them their own little island, right? So that's sort of the problem with it.
AI can't. Yeah.
Because you're right. All it is bullet charts. Even the things that they see as so, dynamic is like, you look at one of those like Boston Dynamics robot dogs that they try to kick and knock over.
Sure, yeah.
Right? So it has an algorithm in there, so it sees like force equals this plus this plus this.
Yeah, it just understands physics.
Right. And basically, they're like, well, it stays upright when you kick it. It's like, okay, is there a way to kick it so that it would fall over? It's like, well, probably. And so if you did, it's just something it can't account for.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where it can give the impression of, okay, well, this is clearly intelligent. It's like, no, the program is. But there's no version of this where it's going to stop and say, I'm not walking for you.
Right.
You're not carrying this.
Yeah. Just throws it off.
Right.
I'm going on strike. Solidarity. Speaking of those Boston Dynamics videos, I got sucked into a YouTube rabbit hole a while ago that had all these videos of like really impressive feats that some of those robots were doing.
Yeah.
They're fake.
A lot of them are.
A lot of them are fake as fuck.
Really?
Yeah. So, because I started getting to the ones where eventually, if you mine that one down a little bit, you get to the ones where the robots get sick of it and start fighting back. And it's like,
No
this is
way.
fake.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like,
gotcha.
this is fake. It was like, wait a minute, these are all on the same fucking channel. God damn it! This was all fake all along.
Some of it's real. Some
Some of it is real.
And a
Yeah.
lot of that is just.
Yeah. So I saw this one where they had the robot trained to do like the quick draw courses and stuff. Like I've seen videos of Keanu Reeves doing it and shit. Where you got an AR and you have to go shoot so many targets with so many bullets, kind of thing. And this thing was just acing it, and it had all these dudes standing right next to the targets.
Right.
Okay, so they're like, look how accurate this robot is. Fake. Totally fake. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, Pat, you're a dumbass. So, they, like, the very first thing they animated in CGI was a robot. Well, that might not be accurate, but the first one that I remember that was fairly convincing.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that they do with like mechanical stuff and robotics that are lethal, that work great. I mean, I always have memories of this. Did you ever see like the Metal Storm defense system?
No.
Okay, so imagine that you have just like 100 gun barrels just stacked up side by side.
Yeah.
Okay. And because of the way they're being fired, you can essentially just put like bullets behind each other, and so the ignition is just, it holds tons and tons and tons of bullets.
Yeah.
So the whole merit of this thing isn't that it's firing a big projectile, it's rocket skates, but more of them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
essentially like 100 bullets would fire every half a second.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be that close. You just point it. It picks out targets, right?
Yeah.
And it'll instead of firing a missile, it'll shred an airplane because so
Yeah.
mill's bullets are
So
flying.
this is like the old phalanx system. So the Gatling guns?
Perhaps, but it was basically just think about it as a big box.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, when they were saying, like, all right, well, it can identify targets, and then, you know, just, it's so fast, right?
Yeah.
You just hear it, you hear, like, one spray, and 300
Yeah.
rounds are downfield in, like, half a second.
Yeah, they're going
right?
to tear that airplane to pieces.
Yeah, or, you know, on the ground, right? Still problematic. You're going to
Yeah.
shred anything you're shooting at. Like, okay, I can see this. I can see this as, like, a practical application, but there's still, like, the big problems of, like, what about target identification, right?
Yeah.
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 These uniforms looks pretty similar,
Yeah.
right? It's like, are you so smart? Like, because then it comes to the problem with that conclusion is, all right, well, then why don't those guys wear our uniforms?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's
I mean,
just,
like, the whole idea, so, like, any kind of robotics in war will actually take a war to sort out the next time. So,
Well,
we'll figure it out in about 15 minutes. So,
Well, they have a pretty novel solution right now. is-
with the drones.
yeah, is you do have a human operator who still has to make that decision.
Yeah, relatively. So, you
So
know,
if you do see, if you're at a great enough distance with a camera, and you say, all right, well, based on my best judgment, those guys are doing, I don't know, Islamic things. So, you know,
right, yeah.
I'll hit the button, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, God, what's that terrible joke my brother told me?
But you got one?
Yeah, what's the difference between a Pakistani wedding and a terrorist cell?
What's that?
I don't know. I just fly the drone. That's terrible, man.
There's a version of that where it's all, where the punchline is like 15 minutes in the oven or something like that. But I don't remember. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, and even in my PhD program, one of the guys that I was going through with it was actually working at the academy to develop a PTSD program for those
Yeah.
guys in particular.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fucked up what happens to those guys after a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear about it too because you're like, oh, well, you get to sit in a nice comfy chair with two joysticks and pew 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 pew. So, but then you don't realize that you've been watching this like target for weeks. You've seen his kids, you've seen how many dogs he has, and I mean,
Yeah.
and then you just get the order one day. It was like, okay, fire, and then you just wipe everything out in like 40 seconds.
Huh.
So
Yeah, I watched
and
a program on it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw a documentary on it.
Oh, no
It's
shit.
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because this is the other problem with this is if you don't suffer PTSD from doing
There's
this,
something wrong with you. Yeah.
right.
Right, you are the guy who runs Auschwitz.
Yeah, it's kind of like
There's no good way to come out of this, huh?
this month, yeah.
well, 'cause there's the part of it is like, so you work at a slaughterhouse, right? And like every time that you go in there, there are some people like, all right, this is work, right? Then there are some people who are like, I really hate strangling chickens. And then there's a group of people like, I fucking hate these things.
I love strangling
Yeah,
chickens. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's that last one that
Right.
is gonna be in the news someday.
Yeah. Might be your best employee. But yeah. One day this is not going to work out. Yeah.
He seemed so normal.
So normal.
Then somebody
Yeah.
said this, and 14 people
Right,
are dead. Yeah. That King Supers will never be the same. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but they touched on that is like you have to be in a. I remember. Okay, so I knew a guy that was talking about his experience in the first Gulf War. Right, and they were getting on a bus, and this was after a lot of this was over, and there was a guy that got on the bus, and with him he was taking a souvenir. It was a fucking severed head.
During the first Gulf War?
Yeah.
I thought that was the tame one.
Well, head still got severed. So
That's
shit still got.
disgusting, yeah.
Well, and that was the thing was, he seemed perfectly fine with it.
The guy who cut off the head, or who had
The guy
head.
who had it in his possession. Yes, it turned out that
It's like, check out what I got. Yeah.
well, no, he was holding it like a trapper keeper. It's just like, oh, bring this to class. I'm going to take this home.
God dang.
And that's what
Yeah.
he was saying, like, no, that dude was sick. They had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get this.
yeah.
But when you get to that point of like, I'm going to bring home a head back home
Right.
and be like, hey guys,
Check this out. Check out my Iraqi head.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
check out my trunk, right? You know, it's like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I there were a couple guys that I knew from Vietnam who were kind of fucked up. So, but there was definitely, I've had plenty of students over the years who came back more so from Iraq than Afghanistan, but definitely Iraq,
sure.
that were a little bit fucked up, but not like that kind of fucked up, or I'm going to bring a head home. I don't think I've ever met, with maybe the exception of one guy who just loved killing.
I mean,
He used to push cards at the airport.
Right,
remember?
right, yeah.
So, this is just like Rick and Morty. Oh boy, here I go killing again. So,
well, I mean, everybody's got to be good at something. And I know that
he just had a particular set of skills that were not suited to anything else other than pushing fucking carts in at the airport for the rest of his life. But prior to that, man, oh my god.
yeah, because even Rambo had that part at the end where he was like, good job, and he throws the M60 like he's a killing machine, but he was like, well, this didn't work out for me.
Yeah, I have known exactly one guy like that ever. So
Right.
one.
Yeah, I don't think I.
Oh, and he loved talking about it too. You got to go and he blah 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 blah. Talking about throwing people out of helicopters and shit. Oh my god.
Oh,
And he thought it was all funny too.
we were here. We
So-
were not supposed to be here.
Yeah, we were in Laos. We're not supposed to be in Laos, but Laos was cool because we could do a lot of shit that we couldn't do in Vietnam. And I was like, you couldn't do things in Vietnam. So yeah,
Well, if you think we were bad, let me tell you what the Rocks did.
yeah, those guys are the mountain yarders. So you talk about the indigenous Vietnamese there and how they would like cannibalize people and stuff. And, dude, the guy was just like I said, I've only never met one. He was definitely the one. Yeah.
He was just a somehow well-adjusted psychopath.
He was definitely a well-adjusted psychopath. So he was a nice guy too.
Yeah.
Yep, he was a nice guy. So, but he was just shameless.
Well, I mean, there's a version of. I think there's a part of you that it's healthier that if that is a part of you to come
Sure.
clean, right?
Yeah.
Instead of to stigmatize it or say like I wish it weren't. I mean, the problem with that is if you follow that train of thought, there's a lot of things that you start to excuse that probably shouldn't. Because
Right.
eventually, if you walk down this path, long enough, you end up in pedophile junction. And I can't,
Or
I
something
can't.
like
Obviously,
that,
I
yeah.
can't. It's like, well, I'm pedophile, I own it. Like, well, maybe you shouldn't own it.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Maybe you shouldn't actually
Yeah.
buy the van down by the
Right,
river.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
Jail's a place for
jail's
you.
a good place for you.
I
Yeah.
want you to get help, but we can't wait around for
Right.
like the circumstance of like, well, has he done it yet? It's like,
Right, yeah.
No. I mean, obviously, you can't convict somebody of a crime ahead of time,
Right. This is a minority
but
report.
yeah, well, as far as the justice system goes, but you still have to be like,
We're keeping all our eyes on.
yeah, because we have got to stop you before you do it. The consequences are just too dire.
Yeah. So
It's like, well, we can't move in until he actually molests the child.
yeah. Well, it's just can't do anything until the parents actually give us the gun. Yeah. So, in the backpack in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that guy.
Yeah.
The-
They did get the parents, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
They actually picked them up, or did they
It,
turn
it was
themselves
like
in?
that night. No, they were trying to hide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They found him in a basement. I can't remember, but they were trying to hide.
they were trying to jet, huh? Okay.
I'm pretty sure these parents need to be got.
Do you?
Yeah. When your response is like, you just shouldn't have gotten caught.
What?
Yeah.
They said that?
Well, that was for searching for ammunition online at school.
He was searching for ammo online at school.
Yes. And so they called the parents, and the parents were just like, yeah, okay, yeah, we just got him that. So, and then they came home or it was on a text.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, you just got to make sure you don't get caught next time.
Jesus.
It
Christ.
wasn't even
Really?
come on, don't search at school. Like it
It
was.
was like, why you need ammo, boy? That should be the appropriate
and
question.
there's, like,
Yeah.
things posted on social media now that he was like
Yeah.
outright saying he's gonna go shooting. So
This is the kid who's asking for help before he actually gets that.
yeah, and the
That's
parents
correct,
yeah.
the parents had seen it and went to the school and said, "Look at this stuff," and so they're suing the school for like $100 million.
Good. So
Well, you know what? I guess in that regard, if they were reaching out for help, and man, this is a tough one because as much as I don't want to judge a book by its cover, there is like you can see
There's a lot on the cover.
Yeah, the cover is just, wow. I can see where you fit in our ancestral path, and I could see at what stage of humanity you were very victorious. And this is like, you guys ate human livers.
Yeah,
right?
this is a very brief period of history in the frontier of Michigan. Yeah.
But see, this is where like software engineers are like the dominant sect. And I just don't see a lot of programming in this family.
Right.
Well,
don't.
there's always the stuff, oh, I never would have seen it from this person. Or there's like every single person is going, he's been telling us for weeks this is going to happen. We told everybody.
No. With this family, like anytime a cat is missing in the neighborhood, you go to that house first.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, you had to prove your innocence, kid. Yeah.
right.
No, I totally said, oh, okay. We're wrapping up here.
We're at $1.40.
We're at $1.40. Football, Will.
I don't even know
Let's
why
stop talking about school
right
shootings.
anymore.
Let's just talk about
terrible.
rape massacres.
We somehow keep ending up in school shooter territory way more often than we should.
I'm going to take the Packers minus 12.5 over the Bears
Really?
because Justin Fields is back, so he'll
okay.
turn over the ball like 14 times. And for my underdog, there's a lot of good underdogs. Well, I'm going to do... I don't know why the Ravens are 3-point underdogs to the Browns.
What?
So, I don't know if there's an injury or something I'm missing, but I'll take the Ravens plus 3.
Is that no? Show me. Is that for real?
It says Cleveland minus 3,
Wow.
which makes no... I mean,
Yeah.
I get that they're home and all, but that should not be a 0-0 game.
Their quarterback's not sitting out, is he?
That's the only thing I can guess, but I haven't heard it yet, so...
Oh.
I'll
You're
take
not-
the 3
you're not-
points. What, going...
You're not going to pick against the Patriots like normal.
They have a bye.
Oh, that's right. They're off this week. That's right.
We'll save it up for next week.
Yeah. I'll make both picks be against the Patriots
Fucking
somehow.
losers are actually playing. I'll pick against them.
They have to lose a game at some point, so...
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, last one was a delight.
What week is it? 14? 13?
Broncos are 6-6, had a bye, so yeah.
13. Got it. All right.
All right,
Week 13.
Okay, I like it. So, Will, introduce yourself.
I'm Will. Thanks for the intro.
Yeah, Patrick.
I'm Pat. I'm gonna
Jeffrey.
beat you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm hitting a button.